Hello, true believers. Welcome to tonight's episode, Universe 939, Issue 1. Welcome to Haven Crest. This is a Marvel Multiverse TTRPG actual play featuring this amazing cast that I have gathered here. Some wonderful, amazing people. They will introduce themselves and tell you either the name or code name of the character that they are playing, and then we'll be jumping right into tonight's issue. And let's start with Aetherius.
Oh, hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Aetherius Bordeaux. I am America's #1 choice in Vampire Himbo. I am an AP actor, a Twitch streamer, content creator, and Black nerd. I'm a big TTRPG, racial diversity advocate in this space. Yeah, and tonight I am doing something I've never done before, and I'm very, very excited, which is stepping into an existing character. I've never done that in an actual play or at any table before, and so I have some big shoes to fill. I'll be playing David Aline, also known as Prodigy, if you're familiar at all with the new X-Men Academy or the Young Avengers, and I'm ecstatic to be here. The hype is real, and I am beyond thrilled to be going on this journey with these amazing faces that you see on the screen here.
Yes. Novra, new face. Hello, friend.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Nova. I'll be playing Nabu, and he would like to be identified as such. uh, yeah, he has no code name, and you guys will get to know and love him as we play.
Oh, yeah. Up next, new face for me at the table, getting to play alongside Keith.
Hi, I'm Keith. He, they. You can find me across the internet at various actual play streams. Usually I play at the Total Party Chill channel, but you can also find me on itch.io where I sell a bunch of single and two-player games. Tonight I'll be playing Alex, he, him, who is just your regular student slash DJ with some fun musical powers.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be an Arclight Court actual play unless some member of the Gathered Collective was a part of it. And I tend to lean closer to my bestie, my longest running TTRPG actual play best friend over the years, to have a part of all my cool projects. Paige, if you want to tell everybody who you are and who you're playing.
You don't have to introduce me like that every time. I'm Paige. My pronouns are she, her. When I'm not on this channel, I am over on Pluto's Underworld here on Twitch, where I run my own APs, as in the one tomorrow that Arc is a part of. So we'll talk about that at the end of stream. But tonight I am playing Kimberly Kent, aka Kimmy. His codename is Pool and has rubber manipulation. Which, what that means, you'll see when we get to it.
And I am none other your humble director, Arc or Arc Light Court. I'll be playing everybody, everything, and the world all at once. And as we get started, jump into issue 1. Welcome to Haven Crest. The first page that we see after a brief synopsis of the main characters that we will be focusing on is a news report. It's been 6 months since the decimation, as it is referred to in the mutant community. It is 6 months since the multiversal supernatural event referred to by the universes around as M-Day. It's been 6 months since the mutant population had been decimated to a mere 198 from the previous 212 million. The story progresses on, telling of The increase of members joining the Church of Man, stating that the House of M, that the decimation was the quote unquote Antichrist's rapture, fitting for the date. And even then, reports then coming in month after month. Mutants regaining powers and abilities, transforming in the middle of public spaces, dates, private moments. And the urge across the entire planet for some answer. How is it after so much was lost, so much was taken away, that slowly everything seems to be coming back together? And on this day, 6 months later, a press release of a new school. The exact location is kept a secret, but it is spoken about all over the world. A place for mutants regaining their powers, to have another chance, to try again. Reforge, refine, force. 3 words of power written across the newly hung plaque outside of Haven Crest Academy. And the person hanging the plaque is the reason why news is covering, as none other than the X-Men, Avenger, small time as a Fantastic Four member, Wolverine, and not in his uniformed superheroics uniform, but a dark blue blazer, a white buttoned-up shirt underneath, the collar still left slightly open, pair of like almost khakied cargo pants and black combat boots at the bottom. This short, stout, menacing entity shows a sense of hope on his face, something that isn't captured on film very often. As the gates open and we see hundreds of students entering, children as young as 8 and 9 years old walking through the gates, some with bright pink ears that elongated up the side, floating on large stuffed animals. There's even a child who has made a train set that is generating its own tracks in front of it, with other students sitting behind him as they're all walking and entering into the school. The upperclassmen were brought in the day prior, an understanding for public that this is a place of innocence, an understanding of how media works a little bit better after the 40 some odd years of Xavier's Institute. Nabu. That night, flying in from Wakanda. Seated across from you in one of the Dora Milaje stealth jets, you see a dark-skinned woman with red markings, almost like half moons around her face, 2 smaller lines over her cheeks, of Narima, the queen, Aurora Monroe's right hand, bringing you to Alaska. What does Nabu look like sitting in the chair next to this Dora Milaje?
Probably hulking in comparison to her small frame. Nabu is like 6'8", 6'9", of about like 270 pounds of like like 3% muscle. He has no hair, no like facial hair outside of like eyebrows and Wakandan. Um,
Are
he
you wearing the adornments?
Not everything in its entirety. Um, he's wearing what would be um like something that would be like the underplating. Like if armor was put on layers, he would be wearing the first layer. It has some like bones on it, like not too much. It looks like the like Mortal Kombat Scorpion Sub Zero little triangle vest thing
Like
with
the
like
tunic with the vest over
yeah,
it? Okay.
and red sash tying it like onto his body, and like there's like bones like slotted where the I guess it would look like the ribs of the previous person. That's like, but it goes all the way down, like all of the ribs from the previous person are on this tunic that goes down. He's wearing um, those like NBA basketball like arm compression sleeve things that go up to his shoulder and then stop. And then he's wearing like I guess like a torso version of that stop. There is no connection between the sleeves and I guess this undershirt that he's wearing under the like tunic thing. Um, he's wearing the same kind of like compression shorts, but they only go so far down his thigh. um, and then regular old like leather sandals that like look like the Roman kind that like go up the like calf a little bit, and he would be waking up from like a nightmare, not like out of his like sleep type of deal, but the night before, I would assume that his night before was literally flying in like on like the plane with the Dora Milaje, and he fell asleep and then woke up from a nightmare.
And as you wake up, Narima seems completely unfazed at your shuddered and broken awakening before she slides two things over to you. As you can see, the beginning of the Aurora Borealis in the sky ahead of you and the opening cove into Alaska. The first one are all the information that you will need and what we're looking for. The second is your Komoyo card. You want to call your mother, your father, your cousin, purchase food to be delivered because you don't trust their cooking. All can be done through there.
Okay. He doesn't say anything out loud. He just would like kind of like TV show, just slide it into some kind of random pocket. I guess somewhere under the tunic, and then ask how long do we have before we arrive.
Less than an hour.
Start gathering my things. He stands up and goes to where the rest of his stuff like would be.
Narima calls over her shoulder. And only your things. None of the weapons. None of the armor.
And then Rima, those are my things. How else would I survive?
No, I mean my spear that is back there, my chakram that are on the wall, my headdress, which is next to, and starts without losing the horizon. is pointing towards the Midnight Angel's armor that is on one of the walls, the weaponry that is there. There's even what looks to be one of the Queen's armaments are in there, and even one of the King's armaments are in there as well.
Like, Nabu would, like, as she's naming everything, like, just revel in the awesomeness that is those items. But then he looks back at like what he's picking up, which is the bones of my family. Like that's cool, but this is all that I would need. This is all that I've ever needed. I just didn't know that. Like he doesn't interrupt the naming of everything, but like is slowly just grabbing his things and like just recognizing the awesomeness of her stuff.
The Queen will be visiting 3 weeks after your arrival. None of the others are to know. The director knows, but none of the others are to know. In that time, answer the questions of the first card.
He doesn't look at the card yet. He's just, yes, like this is truly happening. Why send me? Like, there's so much that could be done. I'm going back to school. I've already done these studies.
You've done our studies and excelled. These are studies of another kind. You are not just here to find answers for yourself, Nabu. You're here to find answers for the others of Wakanda like yourself. We don't want to send everyone to New York. Here seems safer, less violent, less prone to attack.
This is when he's put like everything where it needs to be, and Nabu is carrying a coffin. It's like but it looks cool, but it's not made out of anything all too great. It's like a pine coffin that's painted and decorated nice. Um, uh, and he walks up to the front, and then he says, "Who would want to attack anywhere out here?" And I assume it's just like trees.
You're
Time
now seeing
Mhm.
the expanse of forest leading into the upper mountain ranges northeast of Anchorage, Alaska. As you are now beginning the descent over the top of Haven Crest Academy.
How north and how east?
You're roughly about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes from Anchorage. You're close enough to one of the rivers from the Gulf of Alaska that branches away from Anchorage going further north.
So there's like roads and stuff up here. So it's not
Yes.
just like a random. Oh, okay, all right.
You do know that where Haven Crest Academy is, because it was in the information given to you before coming here. This used to be a like world-class ski resort of some kind that was completely repurposed, remodeled everything the whole way through. It still has some of the trolleys that go up to the top of one of the mountainsides. But included in your reports, you know that there was also several underground facilities that were installed and connections to several other deep underground facilities that are within one of the mountains nearby that connect to the school.
um, he looks out. We have this little discussion. He sits back down and says, "You would think if they wanted to keep their children safe, they would stop broadcasting their whereabouts to the world."
There is only so many lessons we can attempt to inspire to the rest of the world. But even now, we find ourselves in front of many more eyes, and as such must become part of the viewing. The jet then slowly lands on top of the school. You see two individuals. One of them you absolutely recognize as the Wolverine. The other, someone you've seen pictures of. Someone who is recognized in Wakanda, not as an honorary Wakandan, but someone whose works and prolific life beforehand has gained them at least an acknowledgement of their courage and strength and honesty. You see Agent Gemini as the two of them are waiting for the engines to be completely turned off before approaching the exit doors at the back of the Dora Milaje stealth jet. Narima does not move. She offers a hand up from the seated position for you.
I grab it like like warrior handshake, Wakanda style, and take my coffin and I walk out. I, I greet these two as if they're like higher ups in like the military. Uh, Straight to formalities, give them the Wakanda salute, um, state my purpose of observation. Well, like the whole thing, like Nabu Watado, Watadu. I'm not sure how we say that yet. Still,
I thought it was Watoto.
Watoto, yeah. Watoto, and from the mining tribe, here to observe. Not even really looking at Wolverine directly in his eyes, not looking at like
just looking forward, 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
A small conversation is had that your mind is aware of and could recall later. But there's something about the Aurora Borealis that just holds your attention a bit longer than you intended. That same night, few hours prior, someone else arrived with only what they would say is a less than normal amount of money in their bank account than they're used to, but was informed of a new school and new opportunity and fresh life. Kimmy, what does it look like as you show up to the Haven Crest Academy just after sundown?
Yeah, so as you said, Kimmy's slumming it a little bit, so she had to get a smaller car service than she would normally go for. So imagine a Escalade pulls up out front of the school, like all blacked out Escalade. As Kimmy gets out, what you see is a young lady who's about 5'6" ish, average height, and a like lavender sundress with like it's a light blouse and tights, so immediately shivering cold as soon as they step out of this thing. before they reach back in and grab a very bright hot paint suitcase and pull the rollers out and start to roll it up as they walk towards the gate. Kimmy has long black hair. And the other thing of note is she has those little rubber band bracelets, but she has an obsessive amount up and down each arm. Probably like at least 12 on each arm.
Okay. And it's as you have stepped through the gated entryway that was unlocked. Not something you're really used to, especially with everything that's been going on and been happening.
Mm-hmm.
As you approach the front door, it begins to open. You see a woman with orange red hair, vibrant green eyes, bright red lipstick that looks like it might have been wiped off an hour ago, but there's still that like shine left over, like it wasn't completely removed. Uh, just barely like shorter than you, maybe by an inch. There's something familiar about them, but you can't 100% place it. As she looks towards you and says, Kimberly, correct?
Yeah, is this Haven Crest? Is this the right location?
Yes, this is. I was just confused. The paperwork we have has other information on it, but still matches descriptive information that was given.
Yeah,
So I just wanted to be
I know some of the paperwork didn't get updated, but that's something we should probably discuss in private.
yes.
But I think you should have everything. I think I sent over all the ID dots, and I think I got my school records transferred over as well.
We rerouted your school documents,
Okay.
which is a part of the other private conversation we may need to have. Not in regards to you, but in regards to people who might be looking for you.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Legally, you are an adult, so we are not forcing you or telling you where
Mhm.
or when to go. But we want to make sure that when we finalize your new documentation, that we can
That
help alleviate any of that stress. I'm co-director Hudson.
okay.
Heather.
Nice to meet you, Miss Hudson. Kimmy, and she just reaches a hand out to shake her hand.
And she shakes your hand as well. There is far more strength behind this small woman's arm than you could initially, in any observation, could have taken from it at all.
I don't think Kimmy feels the extra strength, but like if the other person's looking at the shake, the hand that she's shaking just kind of gives a little bit, like inward as she squeezes harder.
That is the giveaway for you, is that
It's like, oh,
you feel your power activating as this handshake is taking place because of the amount of pressure
it's like
that
that's
initially happened.
interesting.
I apologize. I thought I had removed this.
No, that's fine.
I
I can handle a little pressure.
well, I am not a mutant.
Oh,
I was never a mutant. My abilities come from, and with the like powder white like almost like half shirt that she's wearing, it looked like she was wearing like a full gym one piece cover with like a
mm-hmm.
loose white shirt over the top of it. uh she raises one side of it and you can see half of the Canadian leaf from their flag underneath it. This is a part of the armor of the Guardian for Alpha Flight, and I normally train wearing it, I saw someone was approaching, thought I had changed, and didn't. It's okay. You're okay.
Yeah,
You're fine. Okay.
didn't even feel it. You're completely fine.
Okay. Let's get inside. Let's get necessary paperwork finalized.
Yeah, I was
S-
supposed to meet with Director Logan, I believe it was when I got here, is what
He
Warren told
is
me.
he is awaiting a diplomatic exchange student
Okay.
currently. So I will be helping you take care of this myself and excuse me. Um, myself and Colossus, Pieter,
Okay.
and uh one of our counselors. Warning, I don't know how new you are to this life or in response to being around people with mutations or active mutations at all times. Um, our counselor is missing the entire lower portion of their jaw, and it is constantly engulfed in a sort of plasma fire that is erupting at all points in times. Uh, Low level psionics, there are no telepaths here at the university,
Okay.
but we want
Yeah.
to ensure that all boxes are checked as we move
I mean,
forward.
everything I I don't know how much you know about my background, but anything I've heard about mutant life, I just kind of don't take as fact from where it came from. So I don't judge.
Understandably so. Well, come in, come in, come in, come in, and you can leave. And she turns and points, and you see a what could only be described as a gremlin before they get dropped in water and become like the wicked evil versions of
Yeah.
themselves. Imagine Gizmo, but like 3.5 feet tall
No,
and
I'm not going to
lightly
date
green
myself. I have
blue.
no idea what you're talking about.
And lightly green blue tinted on the fur. Still has the big white patch around the face, same little like
Hmm.
sharp teeth in the mouth. Uh uh Co-director Hudson looks over and goes, Grammy, to one of the new upperclassmen rooms. Do you want a roommate? Are you okay with a roommate? Do you want your own room?
I would prefer my own room
Okay.
just in case.
Single for the upperclassmen room, have this delivered. And you see like a big toothed like grin go over their face as they bend 90 degrees and eat your luggage.
Um I'm assuming that's okay because that's everything that I own right now.
It's being taken directly to your room right now. That's
Okay,
Grammy. Well,
cuz
that's one of the Grammys. There, so the Grammy Gardner is one of the people who have found themselves here. They were being taken advantage of by the
okay.
Brotherhood not too long ago, and have found that they would much rather help children and people who are processing through refinding themselves. If you ever see the Gardner Grimmy, then be worried. These guys, these Grimmies, and she like ruffles the fur between the giant ears at the top of the head. It looks like an overgrown Labubu. That's the best way I can put this. Um,
Okay, that's nothing's going to get on the suitcase when he spits it out, right? That was
no,
designer.
extra dimensional space connective lines between all of the
Oh,
Grammys. They
okay.
take care. They escort the children, the lower class or lower classmen and younger students to class. They maintain the grounds. They also help with some of the cooking and transporting things between classrooms. There is one who will be the acting hall monitor during the school year, who, if you are caught outside of class, they will just swallow you whole and place you into the class you're supposed to be in.
Okay, noted. Um, yeah, we can continue the tour. I think I got the gist of all of that. Kimmy's face looks like they're just trying not to freak out at this whole revelation.
The
Uh,
next three panels is Kimmy and co-director Hudson walking through
Mm-hmm.
Haven Crest, and in the corner or behind a wall, inside a vase, cleaning a window, you can see one of these Grimmies in every single one of these panels.
Yeah, Kimmy's like not even looking at where they're going or the tour because she keeps noting all these things all over the place, and it's just like, okay, I don't really have any other choice to go anywhere else, so I guess this is okay. His little thought bubble appears above her head.
Uh, Paperwork is finalized, confirmed. Uh, Director Hudson asks if you would like. Uh, they do have a on medical staff member who is a mutant who has full cellular and genetic reconfiguration abilities. They are open and available for any tests necessary, any changes that you wish to have done or accomplished. All of it is taken care of by the school, enclosed within the school, and then any official government necessary documents are stamped, sealed, and assigned through the school.
Yeah, I mean, after the weird thing where our powers went out and came back on, um, it kind of solidified a lot of that. Um, so maybe just a checkup to make sure everything's going to hold, I guess. As long as the paperwork though is updated to just match the new stuff that I sent over last week, with the new name, the new bank account, all that kind of stuff, then I think we're good.
Everything else will be taken care of. We've been lucky enough to gain a level of sovereign status through the UN.
Okay.
So now mutants are able to have updated paperwork and information at a much quicker rate without any of the other local jurisdictions or laws being applicable to any of those changes.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure how soon everything went through because I didn't really have a large window of time to try to push everything through on my end. So yeah, any help you guys can give to not have them have any leverage would be great.
It is already in the works. Now, for the other hard part of the conversation that I'm
Yeah.
assured you didn't want to have in public. The people that were looking for you,
Yeah.
they were in this state recently.
Okay.
There was a Church of Man rally at Anchorage about 2 weeks ago. Someone had figured out what all of the upgrades to this ski resort was going towards and leaked that information. And
Okay.
so they held a massive prayer circle and
Yeah,
campaign funding.
I'm familiar. I'm guessing they had two particular donors show up for that.
Yes, we had initially thought that you were there with them and looking to be picked up. And so we
No.
went looking for your previous name. And it wasn't until we got your updated paperwork that we found out that that was not the case.
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, it must have been a delay. I haven't seen either one of them in God like a year and a half now.
We'll do our best to ensure that no further information gets out. And if anything does that pertains to you, we'll have some red herrings sent to the other side of the country instead.
Perfect. Yeah, Warren tried to help a little bit on his side. Because I obviously had to travel across the border to get into Alaska. But
Yeah.
he said everything should have been clear. So good to know that that won't be an issue here.
We set up a photograph of who you used to be, and Warren walking through the gates of Grey Malkin in Westminster in case they came looking for
Yeah, I
not
mean,
you here.
that's definitely helpful. I know it's honestly just delaying the inevitable, probably with their resources, but yeah, as long as they can give me time to get settled and make sure there's nothing they can do legally, then I think we're good. I mean, maybe in 19 now helps a lot. So
We already have the idea of sending it to the National Enquirer as one of their tabloid pieces about Warren, bringing one of the Church of Man's greatest donors to a mutant school will
oh yeah,
definitely get
perfect.
them looking
Definitely
all the way over there.
anything that puts their reputation on blast will 100% draw their attention for a while.
So we will get all of that set up. Your room, and she opens a drawer, and you can see there's a new desk that is at the far end of the room, still wrapped in plastic. She's still using one of the old ski resort desks, and she's like, there's a like half of a screwdriver stuck in the lock in the front of the desk that's unlocked the drawers. So she's like turning that, still trying to get the drawer to open up, and she pulls a key out and she hands it to you. She goes, everyone on the east wing, femme presenting or femme identifying, we have more of our non-binary, non-Euclidean, and other I am blanking the word. Other identifying members of the mutant community here in the central wing. All of our male mask presenting or male identifying are on the western wing over here. That should be your room. You'll be on the third floor.
Well, to make this easier, just because I'm gonna be having my own room in case you need to get access to me, and she takes the key and just kind of holds it out, and her finger copies the grooves of the key. Okay, I think I got it down. That should just make it easier, and then you can hold on to this, just so you have a copy.
Yeah. And then looks back at the drawer that she has to figure out how to reopen all over again.
And I just do the same with my pinky and just kind of jam the pinky in there, and there's just a couple clicks as my pinky reconfigures to the lock, and then it pops open.
Oh, once I get that new desk set up, no locks.
Do you need help with that later?
I don't know. And you see like just an immediate like shoulders drop.
Okay, yeah, we can do that later after I check out my room. The only thing I wanted to note is I don't really want any of the other students to know about the previous me.
No telepaths.
Okay.
And any information that is here immediately is no longer here.
Yeah, it's just not the being trans is one thing and then being a mutant's another thing. When you're both and you have rich parents looking for you, it was a very long ride here from LA.
Everything that's in this desk will no longer be in this desk in 24 hours. So all of the paperwork is already taken care of.
Okay, perfect.
She reaches out and puts like two hands on your knees from the desk and goes, this is a new life and it's all yours.
I think Kimmy honestly tears up a little bit at that.
Don't do it. I'm already holding back so many tears right now. I still need to set up my desk.
Well, you
There's
can't do it because if you do it, I'm going to do it, and then we're not going to get anything. And then I think they both just start crying in the middle of the office.
They both cry, embrace for a moment, and then we see Kimberly head towards the eastern wing, towards their room. Alex, that last DJ set was not the best. You are seeing a handful of posts that have started to cycle through about missed pyrotechnics. Somebody gave you like 3 thumbs down on whatever the like EDM, like underground EDM rating page is, because the pyrotechnics went off both before and after the drop. It's you got to pick a place for this to happen. Really throws off the mood and the vibe of everything. As you are sitting on one of the private charters from LA heading towards Alaska, what does Alex look like and what's going through their head right now?
So Alex is of Filipino descent. He is wearing a ragged hoodie with a pair of loose pants, and over that he has an oversized down jacket in preparation for, the Alaskan winter, he assumes. He's also wearing a face mask, but on it is like a bunny logo, like a lavender chibi bunny that is sort of has its tongue sticking out and doing like one of these, like a little peace sign on the side. Um, and yeah, he's just like frantically looking at these messages and is trying to decide, should I use a dummy account to try to like argue with these trolls? And he's like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. You can't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. And
You
he's
can.
yeah.
You can. You
Yeah, and
absolutely can.
I think he gives in. He goes to like one of his other accounts that's like Dance Lover, 2008 or something like that. And he just like starts typing. Being like, yeah, you don't know anything about pyrotechnics or how much coordination goes on behind the scenes to try to make that work. And as like a different account, he types in, um, well, let's see you put on a set and coordinate all of the stage work and all that stuff, and just like keeps going.
So, how long have these other accounts existed prior to these reports coming out? Are they long standing? Have these always been backup like meme troll accounts that you've had on standby, or are these you make them brand new on the flight just to do this?
I think half of them I make brand new, but the other half are existing. But I've only been using them to like look at other things that aren't associated with like music.
Okay. Um, we might have our first roll of the night right here. We might need this roll real quick.
Let's
Um,
fucking go.
so because there's a solid mix of older accounts that aren't even connected to music or even to your own music at all, and some of
Mhm.
these new ones. Um, give me an ego roll.
Sure. I have an 18.
Okay, okay. So, wait, 18. So you got, oh no, because your ego is +6 on outside of
Right.
combat rolls, right? Okay.
Oh,
I was
sorry.
like,
So it's
you got all 3 6s across? Oh my God. Uh, um, okay, with an 18, there are, you can see more than half of the accounts that were initially just talking shit. They start walking back and going, oh no, the rest of the set was amazing though, like everything, all of
nice.
the rest of the visuals, you should have seen like the choreography of even the lights and everything else that were going on. It was beautiful and amazing. About 20% of them just completely delete their comments and put their profiles to private so that they can't be interacted with anymore. There is one in particular that sticks out. And it wasn't even someone who was making negative comments. It's a name that's familiar. M. Shepard. Another mutant DJ, or in your case, as far as the world knows, a mutant DJ, responds with, "Now imagine if the set wasn't as great as it was. Would you still be talking about them this whole time?" Like that step up of, oh, a small hiccup in an amazing set, this is all you have to say about it. Like that kind of response in there, and you see everyone then turn and like rethread or repost that same comment with the article with new pictures of you performing at other venues, like, you know, stand up for your DJ or support your DJ over it. And you get a message shortly after from M. Shepard. So are you going to New York or are you going to Alaska?
I've decided on Alaska.
I think it'll be better for you in Alaska than it was for me in New York.
Yeah, your stories really convinced me. And thank you so much for accepting me on such short notice.
Not not a problem at all. Um, I'll be there. Because I still need to finish my last year as well. But if you're looking for any other training, and he puts like a flexed arm emoji and then like the punch emoji next to it, uh, just find me on campus and we'll see if we can get you on a team.
I think I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
See you in 16 hours FML. My flight doesn't leave for another 2 hours. And just like a full rant about being stuck somewhere in like Arizona at this point in time. Like they were close enough that they caught your show, but you didn't know that they were there
Oh,
because they were going to perform at one of the like Lost in the Wilds, Lost in the Wild West performances out in Arizona at the time.
in that case, I think that Alex starts sending him like new music that he's found to sort of, like keep his spirits up and, have a just have a chat musician to musician, like on that level.
Playlists, immediate exchange, like almost one for
Yes.
one, and you can tell that M. Shepard is listening to the full length of the song before sending their next track. Like there's that space in between each song passed back and forth that you know that they're giving it a genuine full listen through before responding with their own musical inclivity. But it's as you cross the Canadian border into the Alaska border, you see the Aurora Borealis out the side window. Just beautiful. Even from the various MP4 videos loaded onto visualizers or experiencing them yourself, there's something in the hues and the tones and the way that it's moving through the air it's like seeing something for the first time again, and having that same wonderment, that same excitement, that same awe settle all over again and seeing it. David. It's been 6 months since the funerals. Since leaving Norrico and leaving Westchester. And for the first month, 2 months of having no powers, you found a way to settle into the gained knowledge, because that couldn't be taken away. You get a text message.
David momentarily snaps out of his dissociation and rustles for his phone.
As you look down to see who it is, there's an emoji of like a little first aid kit, and then Ezio next to that. It's not the first time you've had a message from them, but have you responded to any of them in the last 6 months?
I think that the survivor's guilt and all of its exquisite agony has made a little bit of an emotional masochist of David. So no, he hasn't responded to any of these. But instead of ignoring it, he opens the messages, and in this cognitive distortion that has led him to believe that he has earned this pain or deserves this pain, he scrolls through them, and the conversation is completely one-sided. It takes him almost a full minute of scrolling up before he sees anything that he submitted, and he reads through the texts that this individual has sent.
The first 4 or 5 days worth of messages are you okay? Where are you at? Please be safe. And messages of that sentiment and that value carrying over. Then it gets to a point after about this first or second month where it now looks like it's become more of a journal, like an everyday message or thought or idea has been typed away and sent to this number. I left the school. Got tired of being called a baseline and a flat scan. I'm training I'm gonna do some cage fighting. I'm gonna try and find a way to feel something. Might knock a little bit more sense into me. Then around month 5, they become very short, almost aggressive, but still in that journalistic approach. Someone said mutant growth hormone works. Found someone to help. I got the old team together. We're gonna go have a talk. Before this last message, it works. But I think we need more of it. And then the most recent message. Everybody else got their powers back. Did you? Question mark.
There's a chill that runs through David's body, and he fights himself. His fingers hover over the physical buttons, and he almost pantomimes what he would write back. He wouldn't articulate this. I don't think he has the emotional or intellectual bandwidth to really process this, but he doesn't believe that he deserves this connection. That in the face of abandonment, that this person still cares is confusing, and he takes a heavy sigh, and instead of pressing his fingers to the buttons to type a message, he puts his phone back in his pocket.
You hear a light whisper in your mind from one of the 3 blondes that you still keep a level of communication with. That's probably the best thing you could have done right now.
David thinks about the lack of telepaths at his current destination in a really snide way to these blonde intruders. And then he thinks of something really gauche and terrible just to ick them out of his mind.
Al, first. Second voice, disgusting, David. Third voice, we can transfer there if you like.
The echoing please don't that psychically resonates. his relationship with these three individuals is unique insofar as that it is the singular remaining thread between this life and the previous, between this David and the previous. And he doesn't want to reflect on that, knowing that they are able to see that. But even in his insistence that they don't come, they are the last remaining piece of connection he has to Westchester that doesn't cause him to go into a panic attack. And so he, against all of his active will, has this moment of gratitude in his brain and then immediately regrets it because he knows that they can hear it.
I would say maybe 3 or 4 months ago, they would have pressed, they would have pushed, they would have probed. The fleeting responses, the fleeting don't look this way, the conversation's this way, they have understood and maintained that respect to the remaining connection. One of them says, "You'll have a new phone when you get there. Ditch that one once you get off." The second voice, "They want you to pick a new name when you get there. Part of the whole reforge, refind, recycle, reuse thing of that school." And the third voice, "Or we could come to Alaska with you and just transfer today."
He struggles because there is a part of David that has realized that his reaction to the terroristic attack on Westchester, um, he carries some confusion how this didn't break others in the way that this broke him. And I think his response is a maybe a visit. Maybe I don't want to see the fight that would happen between Miss Frost and Logan if the three of you decided to transfer here. So maybe we start with a visit and
Well,
go from there.
we're signing up, first voice, second voice, to be on the peer counseling advisory board, third voice, so we can come visit whenever we're requested.
Okay. Sure. Uh, David is gonna he's trying to do the like mental house cleaning that he knows will communicate to them that, okay, great, I need you out of
Yeah.
my psyche now. I've got enough to
Closing
deal
the
with.
door now. You guys have a great
Please.
one.
Mm-hmm. See you soon. And he like is in the fuckery of this timeline to him that his main social connection is the Stepford Cuckoos, the insane reality of this situation. I think in all of the like loss and the grief and the PTSD has been really consuming. but this momentary connection, again, it is this unwelcome reminder of what he's leaving behind and who he's leaving behind, primarily um, David. And then his mind immediately switches to having to choose a new name.
It's in that collection of thoughts, the Greyhound that you're on, you realize why you were getting those text messages now that you weren't getting a few hours prior, as you've crossed the Canadian border into Alaska. And out the window, just like the rest, this beautiful ribbons of the Aurora Borealis. And as you see them and take them in, just before the panel pulls away, we see a text message hit David's phone. And it's just blue circle, a little lightning bolt. And that is where we are going to take our break. We'll see you guys in 10 minutes, where we pick up with the group meeting each other on the first day. What's going on? How did these four wonderful individuals find themselves together? We'll find out here in 10 minutes. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you in a little bit. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to issue 1 of Universe 939. Welcome to Haven Crest. We just finished introducing all of our wonderful cast members here as they were making their way towards Alaska to the school the day prior. And now, the official opening day. All of you who had shown up that evening had been assigned your rooms, given your spaces, each one of you giving individual rooms because it basically became first come, first serve. And then they realized, oh, we probably shouldn't do that. We need to have some kind of team building, and then started assigning everybody else double dormed rooms. Yes, Nova.
Nabu just found a spot.
Nabu just walked into a room. It was like,
Yeah,
this one's mine.
This one is mine. Yeah.
You were given at least the direction of like the male or the masked dorms, or like that hallway before you found one.
Yeah.
The four of you do see from inside the school, you can see there are film crowds outside. There are several news stations. There's like a bunch of like social media influencers that are out there as well. Alex, you recognize two of them. One of them, amazing. Like they do a lot of like mutant rights and world politics on a lot of their social media, like bringing voices to the voiceless and aspiring to see not only the Xavier dream come true, but the humanity's dream come true kind of vibe. The other one that's out there, definitely Major Dickhead. Just immediately scream just from what they're wearing, even without them holding the camera only in their own face, just immediately screams they're here for the likes and the views and the, oh, look at me, I'm here on the grand opening of the new school, I'm so, positive, I'm so great. You have had countless debates with them previously on one of your burner accounts, but nonetheless, there is a gathering outside, and you can see both director Howlett and co-director Hudson are outside having the conversation with all of the media that is out there. The four of you almost seem to be forcibly gathered together. David, you can see a handful of students that were from New York that just don't seem to recognize you, that are gathered together, they're making friends, helping lead some of the new younger classmen in and towards like where the basketball court and the baseball field is out back, but all of the upperclassmen are here in the forward atrium of Haven Crest. And it's as the four of you are slowly realizing that the four of you have kind of just been bundled together, you do see an individual, we'll say, pale blue skin, black eyes with red irises, these like defining lines that come across the cheekbones and then down the front of the face. They're wearing these like dark blue, almost like gunmetal gray combined robes and coverings. They surprisingly do have one of the newest pairs of Nike Dunks on. There are the Nightcrawler sixes, I think is what they're called, but they've got them on. And they're just standing off to the side of your group. Everyone else is commingling, having conversation, waiting for whatever the upperclassmen's, assignment roles for the day is going to be. They're just standing there, just hands together, looking forward and waiting.
Are we like out with the new students that are coming in? Or are we inside some?
You're inside where all of the new students have already come through the doors, and now the directors are outside having the conversations with media. All of the students who are coming in today have already entered in, and some of the upperclassmen, like I said, are leading some of the like children out to like the play fields and stuff that's in the back. You could see their Grammys holding a hand of each one of the younger students walking outside and leading them out there. Um, but you guys are in what would have been like the entrance or foyer of this former ski resort, and you're all on the ground floor just looking at the big open doors waiting for the directors to come in, or somebody else, one of the other professors, to give you guys whatever the mission or briefing is for the day.
All right. I want to talk to our blue face, black eye, what people do, but I don't want to come up directly. I want to like walk up to the side of them and say, "We find ourselves in a peculiar place, do we not?"
There is almost like a hollow reverb to their voice as they respond. Like what probably at one time was a chorus of voices that all spoke in the same tone. It is now just a singular voice. This young man who says, "It is almost the same, and they have tried their best to make it as close to the same. But it is different. I hope this home can be a true home this time."
Um, um, I say, they say that Xavier schools are always a good start for a new beginning, and I kind of face toward him a little and right hand out, and I'd say my name is Nabu.
He turns towards you at you turning. "A part of me has experienced new beginnings every millennia, but I'll be happy to share this new beginning with you, Nabu. I am Evan, as I'm called now, or Genesis." He extends a hand.
Um, and now that I'm getting a look at this person, this Nabu is like of a like a military mindset. He doesn't obviously he didn't get a dossier on everybody, but does he look like anybody? Like
Give me a logic roll.
hey, logic isn't my strong suit. So do I just click on logic on
And click on the non-combat checks where you see there's a plus right there. Click on that and it should roll for you.
I got a 7 altogether.
A 7. There is some familiarity to the design on the face itself, to the coloration of the skin. There is currently, maybe not anymore, an entity known as En Saba Nor, or Apocalypse, who was said to be one of the first mutants, or believed to be a grand standing villain in opposition to Xavier and the X-Men and even the Brotherhood and various other heroics or entities along the universe. But this is a small child.
Um, yeah, and it that little string of thought goes that way, and then he's like, but then he could look like Nightcrawler as well. Like, like how many blue faced people are there? A lot. Nice to meet you, Evan. May we go through this endeavor with our heads held high, and good hopes.
I agree. In which the red-irised, pale blue-skinned young man turns to the other three collective of this group. He goes, friends, strike force, team, new students.
Yes, I'm that one.
Yeah, I think we're just new students. I haven't really heard anything else yet. I'm Kimmy, nice to meet you.
Evan, and extends a hand out and shakes it.
And I'm Alex. Nice to meet all of you.
Evan.
I think David is looking in horror over Evan's shoulder at a group of small children that are being led by one of the gremlins. And almost as if he wasn't paying attention to the conversation on up until this point, it turns to Evan, who he assumes has some familiarity with what's going on. There are kids here.
Yes, the recoding has awoken abilities in those younger than initially ascribed to the mutations.
This this can't be safe. They're children. I mean, any gestures to the upperclassmen are at least somewhat capable of taking care of ourselves. I didn't know that Headmaster Logan had lowered the age of
He
admissions so
wasn't
much.
given much of a choice. They presumed safety away from the beacon of destruction that is Westchester.
And yet they broadcast their position to the world.
Yeah, I thought that was really weird too, actually.
Not
Also, who's
entirely.
they?
The Institute, our teachers, our protectors. And Nabu was saying these with quotes.
He's air quoting every other title that he says.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shouldn't they have did the utmost to keep this private? Extend a hand to the ones we need to help.
I believe the term is hiding in plain sight. We are close enough to international waters and borders that escape or asylum can be achieved at a greater and easier faculty than Westchester. Not only that, I was also along the construction team for the various other locations connected to and with this academy.
What's
And you
different
guys can
about this place? Why should any of us believe that what happened at Westchester wouldn't happen here?
Well, you are here.
And I was
out
like,
of need.
we're everywhere. We have been
I get,
sent for.
we're not exactly overflowing with options. I guess this seems like folly.
The nail that sticks out is the one that gets hammered. Correct? Am I right in
Yeah,
that?
I think that's how it goes. I get the metaphor.
While there is, and he points out the door to the like collective media that's out there that is ending their like photo ops and things and are slowly starting to disperse. Evan raises a hand in front of him and a projection appears out of it. And you can see the Avengers and Shield are doing a full tour and like interaction with the Westminster School. Like they're talking about what is being called the recoding, where a great deal of the population's mutant abilities, whether latent, suppressed, or non-existent, have been awoken or brought back since M Day at such a massive rate that the Westchester School or the Westminster School is now so much larger and has so much more to offer. And Shield is even helping work and maintain the peace and safety over there. A handful of Avengers are present. You can see Charles Xavier, Jean Grey, Emma Frost, a bunch of the other members of the X-Men team publicly speaking, and this is being covered by thousands of channels. And then as Evan raises his other hand, you see there are like 7 news stories about Haven Crest.
Gotcha. So oversaturate it with what they already know and make it look more popular, and then the school's more open to the students we wouldn't want to be seen.
The students whose safety is of the utmost importance.
No, that makes sense.
Works for me.
I don't understand your culture.
I am still learning much of it. It is new every... It used to be few decades, and now seems to be every few months.
Yeah,
There are
sounds
memes.
about right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He shows Grumpy Cat on his hand, and then Neon Cat in the other.
I just share a side eye with Alex at that.
Yeah, Alex returns the side eye, but Alex says, sort of like in a teasing way, "Do you think that the two cats share a similar origin? Do you think there's a
Evan
platonic cat?"
turns his hands towards himself with holograms and goes, "No, this one is clearly mutated. It has a rainbow coming out from behind it. This one just appears to be hard of breathing."
Hmm.
Fair enough.
Alex,
Yes.
your phone goes off.
Excuse me 1 second. Sorry. And then I go to answer it.
I am here. I'm walking up now that all of the cameras are gone. I do see Logan is outside, so I'm just going to walk in with him, honestly. Are you guys are you inside? Are you already here? Is everything good?
Yeah, we're like in the foyer, the front room. We're honestly we're kind of just standing here, probably in the
Yeah,
middle.
that's normal. They do that at every I'm coming up, and through the doorway, the other 3 of you see Director Howlett and co-director Hudson walking up with what appears to be an Asian man, roughly about 16, 17 years old. Um, Black hair, kind of like scruffed towards the back. You can see there's a very obvious like headphone dent in their hair currently, with the headphones hanging from around their neck. David, I need you to make a resilience check for me.
Okay. I got a 15. And is it a 6 on the Marvel dice or a 1? That's important.
If you're rolling on Demiplane, it'll have the M for Marvel for the fantastic success.
Okay. I got a 15.
Okay. You are able to steel yourself. You are able to find that level of calm and resolve to seeing Mark Shepard, a student from Xavier's, was a part of the Paragons, one of the other teams while you were at Xavier's. is a member of the New Mutants, as he is walking to enter the doors with both the director and the co-director. And you see Wolverine is placed like a hand on the shoulder, and they're having like some kind of conversation. As co-director Hudson has like taken a phone out and is now scrolling to check the other 1,000 news stories that are happening in New York. And it's as Mark Shepard enters and sees Alex, he like gives a wave and then looks over and sees David. And you can see like the whole body just like an exhale happens.
I think David wordlessly is going to run over and embrace who he knows as DJ. I don't know that they've ever hugged before.
There's
I
an
don't know.
immediate like full one arm over the shoulder, one under the other arm, like deep and close embrace.
David starts to weep. He is smiling in disbelief as he has tears flowing down, and he does not let go of this embrace for a moment. And I think that there is in his this moment of like near unreality, he's going to grab both sides of DJ's face and look at just to make certain, to make sure that he is registering this right. And he's gonna, oh
Yeah.
my god.
Before you pulled away, he had already like taken the sleeve of the like sports jacket he's wearing and like tried to wipe your face before pulling back, and then your hands are at his face, and he goes, "It sucked. It sucked. What do you? Why didn't you?" Familiar faces.
There is an instant drop. The emotional whiplash here is David's stomach drops. You can't tell anybody that I'm here.
Nope, 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 nope. Nobody even knows I'm here. Well, Alex knows I'm here, but and he
And
like looks over your shoulder and gestures to Alex.
hi. And David, who normally has some level of couth in manners, realizes that he has done little to introduce himself, and now kind of like snot nosed and mid kind of free fall on the emotional roller coaster of the last 30 seconds. Kind of near deliriously introduces himself to the group, and I am David, and he is going to shake hands with Kimmy, and then Alex, and then Nobu, and
I think Kimmy, when you went to shake her hand, had already slipped a hand into her purse and just slips you a little pack of tissues.
you get like a real look of genuine like gratitude. I am a mess. He's gonna take a moment to kind of collect himself. I thought you were.
It was bad, and we can talk about it when there are less traumatized ears to be traumatized uh around. And he looks at Evan and he goes, "KP, why are you?" And KP goes, "Heavy breathing cat definitely is not related to Rainbow Cat." And he
I'm
just
gonna say
like
that's
puts a
the
hand
first
on
laugh.
KP's shoulder.
That's the first laugh David has had in a while, and it's not as like full throated as Aetherius's was. We're gonna say that gets a sharp nose exhale from David.
And as the directors finally step through the foyer doors and they're closed, The directors then turn to all of the upperclassmen. Logan speaks first. There are many of you here who found yourselves lost. I know what that feels like. This is a place to re-find yourself. The new compass. There are many of you here who started somewhere else. Who may have been betrayed. May have been hurt. Turned against. Broken. This is where we pick up the pieces. This is where we put it all back together. I promise you, no one here will be in your mind. No one here will dig in your past. No one here will hold your past against you. Here you refine, you reforge, and reinforce. These are some of your professors. Others are still on their way. Those of you who wish, combat courses will be made available. Those of you who wish, defensive courses will be made available. For those of you who wish, none of those classes are necessary. You can leave at any time. He motions next to the door, the big grand doors. Hanging off the side of it is a silver bell, roughly about 1.5 feet, 2 foot tall. The long navy blue cord hanging from underneath it. All we ask is you let us know when you're leaving. And unlike anywhere else in the world, this bell can be unrung. You can return at any time you wish. Professors, introduce yourselves. A shimmer of snow, dazzling lights, moving spirits, the sound of wind through trees, rainfall, animals snarling and purring. Shaman from Alpha Flight appears and summons around half of the current staff of Haven Crest Academy, where we see North Star and Aurora, the twins of Alpha Flight. We see Caliban and Wolfsbane. We see Chamber and Penance. We see Blob and Adam X. We see Banshee's daughter, Siren. We also see Madeline Pryor. You see the Gardna Gremlin that everyone was warned about, to absolutely be sure to, if you see them, things have gone bad, as what appears to be a short, both feminine and masc presenting Asian person. And they have like 4 or 5 of the Gremmies standing around them. They will be here. They will support you. They will teach you. And if you desire, will train you. Yes, Nabu.
Is there Agent Gemini amongst the teachers?
Yes, he is currently attending to the younger students.
Are there sections for where, like, is there like a booth for combat training, or is it like Harry Potter where all the teachers are just in a line? And he's like, "Yo, we have these things, and we just have to find out."
You wish to study combat.
Not necessarily. I just want to know where Agent Gemini is into anything related to like combat, if there's anything like that out there.
Then you, young warrior, should find yourself amongst the combat training. And I say this to the upperclassmen in particular. You've seen the other students who are attending this school alongside you. I ask you, think of them. If ever anything happens here. And we will think of you if ever anything happens here. We will work together. Watch for one another to ensure the safety of each other. And with that, day one for all of the upperclassmen will begin with a simulation downstairs. As you see Shaman open a satchel at his side, grab a handful of material from within, and throw it forward. As all of the upperclassmen will find themselves teleported to a space David recognizes, but there's no way that it's here in Alaska. The place Nabu's heard about. Some of the technology's borrowed. Alex, this would make probably the greatest EDM setup. There are panels and lights 360 degrees the whole way. This could fit somewhere close to maybe 4,500, maybe 5,000 people. We can get in here, centralize a booth space, or even have the booth space inside one of the walls. Ideas for shows are immediately propagating in the mind for this.
I have my notes app out, typing in the notes.
Just immediately going. Kimmy, it's smaller than you expected. Warren really sold it as like this whole thing. I mean, I guess. Like,
Yeah, I mean, state of the art, I was expecting a little bit better than this, but sure.
I think we see David's hand clutching his heart, and his breath is becoming more and more shallow. And I'm not going to replicate it because I don't want to give myself a panic attack. But
do you look down when you do this?
Yeah, he is going to double over.
You are wearing
okay?
your prodigy uniform.
Okay. I mean, he, the gag reflex kicks in. He feels like he's going to fucking throw up. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. He is gonna try to move past people.
Mark gets next to you and he like puts a
Um,
hand on your shoulder and he's like, yo, hey, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. You
yeah,
look down and you're not wearing the prodigy uniform anymore.
yeah. Like even Nabu throws a hand on your opposite shoulder, and it's like, we'll get through this together.
I think that there would be just a one captionless panel kind of snapshot that we would see of the last moment that David was in the danger room. Um, and I don't know if we are going to get into whom
It was
he
David
was with.
walking out of the danger room, and there is a silhouette of a singular person left standing in it. No facial features, no, it's just an amorphous silhouette of a singular person left in that room as David was walking out.
And I'd like to think that that look of panic in his face is near identical to where the two panels are almost like shot for shot, right? As we go back to him, he's gonna put a hand on the shoulder that like Nabu did, and he's gonna nod to David, and he's gonna take a deep breath in. He feels his synapses start to fire. He's trying to logic the temperature down, right? Like I know logically, definitively, deep breaths are the way to just I can short circuit this, and so I'm gonna be fine. Um, he looks a little bit embarrassed and kind of casts a glance around to see if anybody noticed his near
The
puke.
upperclassmen once again have like separated away, leaving just this gathered six.
Is
Evan
it
is
Kate?
no longer looking at holograms on his hand and is unclasping pieces of the robe and like setting it down.
Are the other upperclassmen dispersing chaotically, or is it like people are going off into groups? Like,
Well, they all kind of heard David freaking out in a very echo chamber-esque space and trying to push
oh,
through everybody. So they're like, okay, wide berth. We're going to back away slowly. We're all going to go back to, oh, we're talking over here. We're going to have a conversation.
oh,
And like
okay.
occasionally stealing looks.
So nothing is going on right now. The professor or Logan was just, hey, like something, something, something in the danger room or in the basement. We all got teleported in a empty room.
It's the entire room is roughly about the size of a football field and a half, but it is a giant sphere. And you guys are
So,
all standing along the baseline of this sphere. There are panels, like metal panels, that wrap and line the entire space. Hanging from the center looks to be some kind of observation deck about 120 feet up from the position you guys are standing in. Um, Mark turns to Alex and goes, "Do you have headphones? Do you need another set? Or you got
Oh no, no. I got mine right here.
okay."
respectfully, I take back everything. If you just got teleported into like an empty room, like he doesn't understand. He would not have like left their side. Would have been like, "Are you okay?" But not super sympathetic. I thought we got teleported into like scenario one type of deal.
Scenario one is about to begin
Yeah.
as that carries through the space. Paige, you had something?
I think Kimmy is just trying to stay in the back because she's not really had any experience, but she knows what this is from Warren, and
Yep.
she's just like looking at her arms and counting the bracelets, like looking in her bag, and you see her like grab out a handful of like just like little rubber bouncy balls and starts just shoving them in her hoodie pocket. Okay.
At this point, the centermost space drops down and then lifts back up, and you see a singular man, early to mid 40s, very close shaved brown hair. Um, Looks like he's holding a cup of coffee, but it's like those industrial sized coffee mugs that you would get at like a gag shop or something. and it says world's best dad, and then underneath it says and sometimes teacher on the front of it. Upperclassmen, I am your history professor. My name is Dr. Alex Merrick. Some of you look confused. I have lived in eternity. I have seen all of the greatest battles in the world. I have witnessed falls of countless civilizations. I am now a teacher because I had a daughter. My daughter attends this school. I officiate this space, and all of the panels start to like warble and like move until they all jettison away. And you are all standing in a vast, empty, void space where there are single like polyps of light underneath all of your feet illuminating you. My abilities, my mutation, do not just include immortality. I can create whatever I wish for you to see. I am greater than the danger room some of you may have experienced in New York. I am better than any illusion you have conjured yourself. And I promise you, I am better than any AAA open world RPG that you can find online. Today, you will face the night the Sentinels arrived. David, you recall that as a very, very, very early mission of the X-Men, the first appearance of the Sentinels, something like 15, 20 years ago. You also know that data file is like entry level combat, survival, defend, escape. There are multiple routes of success. Doesn't just mean knock the giant robot down, but it does mean find your route to success and succeed.
I think David is going to cast a glance at who he knows as DJ. And he makes eye contact, and there's kind of a nonverbal communication between them, and muscle memory kicks in, I think, at this point. Not wearing the Prodigy outfit is definitely lowered the panic, and he's done this. He's successfully navigated this before. He's not going to rob the team of solving a puzzle for them, but he is going to. We see David crack his neck and kind of wring out his hands, and he steals himself, and he's going to turn to the small group of folks that is surrounding him, to Alex, to Kimmy, and to Nobu. Had a bit of a freak out there, but we've got this. This is entry level, and
absolutely got this. Mark hands everybody a singular AirPod.
Okay.
Communications. This is going to get wide. This is going to get big. Me and David went through this like 3 years ago. It's going to look like we're in the middle of a giant city. And this is so if we're working together, we can.
The Sentinels were those mutant killing robots, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, but these are going to be the first gen ones. These are the ones that didn't like adapt to powers. They just identified them.
And I think specifically David, DJ, would notice that Kimmy recognizes what a sentinel is more than she should by like the reaction she has. Like she's terrified because she knows what these things can do, not just because she's heard of them.
I think David is like gonna reciprocate the kindness that Kimmy gave earlier with the tissues, and is gonna place like an affirming hand on your shoulder briefly, like, hey, I get it. These things are freaky, but trust me, these ones, the ones we're about to face, aren't that much more complex than a toaster. This is going to be a cakewalk. Just we all work together. We're cohesive. We work as a unit, and I promise you, we'll be in, we'll be out.
I haven't really used my powers in a fight before, so
Nabu,
uh,
you
I
see.
have a couple of questions. Yeah, is everything being created around me?
Yes.
Like, okay, so as the the city is being formed, and I see the teacher, I point at him and shout, "My name is Nabu Watudu, and my power is not to be denied by anybody. As whatever is being filled around me, and you guys see as like I'm just getting booted up. Like the ground under me cracks, and he's just like staring off. Even if there was a wall that was created directly in front of me in the direction of where that teacher was.
The rest of you also see Evan, Kid Apocalypse, Genesis, whatever you referred them as, step next to Nabu holding a human skull and femur, and then holds them out to Nabu.
Um,
I assume
like,
that you are going to need these.
and I look at him and say, like, I knew there was a reason why I liked you, and like in like an Iron Man esque and like Dragon Ball Z level of power up, like things just get more dense around me. They're like the cracks get bigger. I put the skull on top of my head, and you see it kind of attached to a spine portion that I've always like already been wearing. That's on like the like back end, and like yeah, I'm ready.
So we are to work together.
Yes, Evan. I may not be able to lead you to victory, but we will not be defeated. The Nabu isn't smart, guys. Not that smart.
you can definitely lead. I think I'll stay in the back. While I use this, my powers also can reach pretty far.
I'll be next to you, Kimmy.
Okay.
Can I
Great.
use my first power from for this journey, the issue 1 of volume 1
Yes.
of
So
this
I would
Odyssey?
like I want everybody. We got Nabu's as Evan has brought forth the skull and femur of the last guardian of the mining tribe to Nabu for their abilities. David, what power are you engaging to start this? Kimmy, what power are you engaging to start this? And Alex, what power are you prepping and getting ready for this? We'll start with David.
I think David is there's a he's it takes him a bit because he's fascinated. David is a very curious person, and Kid Apocalypse presenting his new classmate with a human skull unprompted was definitely noteworthy. So I think he
And a
watched
femur.
that for a bit. And the femur, he like is not even going to go down the rabbit hole of from whereabouts those came from. But I think he is empathetically picking up on like a strength from Nabu in this like there is a like very like there's a pureness to his approach to this that David I think picks up on, and in the same way that Nabu, when David almost fucking puked when he had the Prodigy outfit on, I put a hand on his shoulder and affirmed him. I'm gonna do the same thing to Nabu. and I'd like to copy his strength ability using the
Okay.
power. I want to borrow some of Nabu's strength for the journey ahead.
Ooh, give me. Which is higher, ego or logic?
Da-da-da. It's weird because ego is technically higher, but my logic has is this is a combat bonus check, right?
No, this will still be a non-combat bonus check
Okay,
because next
then
episode we're going to jump into that.
all right, I'm gonna roll my logic.
All right, roll logic for me.
Okay, so I got 20.
Okay. So David, as you connect with Nabu and the exchange, the power that you're looking to grab and gain access to is the strength that you're seeing. Like this aura is being exuded by Nabu of like this preparedness for battle, this readiness for combat, to push forward and be like a bulwark for the team and the group. And in your connection to it, you find that it's not so much a muscular strength as you feel your bones inside your body become dense and strong, reinforced. You could feel like the tendons around the bones themselves, even they become thickened and cable like around the bones. The muscles are now expanding to meet the requirement of carrying this weight, of carrying this power. And you could feel it like even through your teeth, like even your
Hmm.
jaws become more defined. There's like there David is giving at the moment with this. It has become sharp. There are angles to this, all right? Uh Gods be damned if he does not look handsome right now. But you feel this strength is not so much, and in the awareness of the original concept of your powers, you undervalued this. You undersold this by a long shot. This is a strength that you have never seen manipulated or accessed or used in this way.
David is I wouldn't describe it as necessarily painful per se, but it's a very uncomfortable. Having your bone density just suddenly ratchet up is very weird. It's a very like unique sensation. And as he feels this strength that surpasses just muscles, um, I think, and Nova, you let me know if there is anything else that David like picks up about Nobu in this or learns about Nobu through picking up this
Uh,
density.
the density feels the heaviest literally in your hands. It makes it feel like almost like ape like walking, where it's like you just feel the most of it in your hands. It's pulling you toward the ground.
Like you're holding like meditation balls, like the iron meditation
Mm.
balls, but make those out of adamantium. Like that is the weight you're feeling in the palms of your hand. But you can levy that, you can maneuver that, you can move, but that is where the weight is heaviest.
I think that like because David in absorbing this is only getting an approximate of Nabu's like true power, but even with that approximate is feels this surge. He like this is the first time in this issue we get a full smile from David. He's tapped into something that again he underestimated. He did not expect this. He thought Nabu go big smash boom, right? Which I think is the case, but it is so much more than that. And he looks at Nabu complex.
You
What
feel a
are you?
you feel a tether of that strength and weight to the skull that is on Nabu's head, to the spine and rib cage that is wrapped around him, to the femur that is in his hand, and you are now very much aware, but can't tap into the other aspect of the various other bones that are inlaid to the clothing that Nabu is wearing on himself. And Nabu, did David just become a long lost cousin?
Uh, Maybe if there was more realization of what's going on kind of behind him, because like in his eyes he's just like, yeah, we got this, and the moment he feels a hand on his back, he starts like trying to carve a path straight at, like I said, wall, no wall, the most beeline direction toward where that teacher was that said I had to be in this room.
All right. Kimmy.
Yeah, after, yeah.
Yeah, I think Kimmy is still panicking a little bit, but she's like looking over what she has because Kimmy was not dressed for this at all. She's in a very like hoodie down to almost her knees, hair in a messy bun, chunky sunglasses on, and like full coach purse with her. I was like, yeah, fuck. I've only tried this like once. Shit. Okay. She starts just emptying out all the pockets on her hoodie and the bag, and there's just like a small pile of like rubber bouncy balls around her, probably up to her like knee. Okay, let's see if I remember. This one goes there. Okay, cool. And she just starts to like move her hands, and they start to like lift and pick up speed around her body, almost like a spear, like or foot forms around her until it starts to like blur. And as it slows down, and they like it doesn't slow down as they stop moving. It slows down because they start to disperse, like they disappear. And in Kimmy's place, she has formed like a rubber unitard over her body with gloves and boots. You see one giant rubber ball move off to the side that for a second you see her clothes and her Prairie Princess purse just get covered up and moved off to the side. And then you see just like the remaining balls that are left start to just kind of like not attach themselves, but kind of just sit like an inch or two off her, any of like disposed skin that's around her. Okay, this is a very rough idea for an outfit, but I don't want to ruin any of my shit. Um, so yeah, and as she like stands, like you also see that she has gained about a foot in height. So she is now 6'6". As I am going to activate her Stilt Steps ability, which kind of just doubles her movement.
You also start perceiving in activating and creating this uniform that the tires on the cars that are in this like
Mm-hmm.
hologram, this creation, you can manipulate that rubber too. Like even so much so you're picking up on the soles of everybody's shoes in the space. Like you have now, in doing this and trying to get that fine tune, you're like, oh, that's there. I could have used that. I could have used all of this other
Yeah,
shit and
I think she,
saved these for later.
I think she notes that and notes those locations there. She can feel that, and like the last thing that she does that isn't seen by the others is that there is 5 of those bands that were around her arms that just kind of slide across the ground and attach to the ankles of each of you.
And
Yeah,
Alex.
David is definitely distracted right now. He doesn't notice anything.
And Alex,
Yeah,
what's the vibe? What are we turning on the playlist?
I think as Kimmy finishes her transformation, Alex puts on these like over the head headphones, and we just start hearing like this pop sort of maybe K-pop soundtrack that if this was like a movie, it would just like run through the entire thing. But Alex is still wearing basically what he wore on the plane, minus the jacket. Um, but he kind of does like this motion around the over the head headphones, and this like digital circle appears over the cup, and around it are these levels that form sort of like a wing, like around it. So it looks like he's almost like a Valkyrie. And he starts to like hover up above the ground. And I think the color of the circle and the wings is a I have
Got a
a
palette. We
D8
got a palette.
here.
Mm.
Yeah, I have a D8 here, and I rolled a 1. So the color is this sandy. Uh, it's like this light green, and we start seeing like the air around Alex like moving like really quickly,
And as
and he said, "Yeah,
your playlist kicks in, you hear in the AirPod underneath your headphones, I go, I'll find something else to listen to then. And DJ turns the wheels on the side of his headphones, turning the volume as loud as he can in his own ears. And you can hear what sounds like sleep coin playing in the headphones. It's sleep token.
No, no, get out, leave right now.
As DJ's like hoodie that he was wearing starts to fill with air as well before it like rushes out the arms and out from underneath the collar, and behind him you see like these sound waves coming off of his shoulders, and each ripple makes like almost like this LED light show that creates a pair of photo like wings off of his back, and he's like preparing. David, this isn't the first time you've seen him do this. It definitely won't be the last one. He is listening to this specific, like, synth stylized rock music to give him not only increased strength, but to give him flight capabilities as well, so that he can pick someone up and fly away with them if needed. He found combining music genres, mashups, allowed him to engage multiple variants of his power at the same time, instead of just listening to classical music to put a barrier up or just listening to heavy metal to be strong. He found this equilibrium between music genres to engage multiple powers. And you see Kid Apocalypse is just standing, arms behind the back, in armor similar to Apocalypse's, right behind Nabu, waiting for him to rush. And we see the panel, David Aline, Prodigy, and there's a line through it. Kimmy Kent, Pull, Alex Dela Cruz, Polyphonic, Nabu Watadu, nothing underneath it, just Nabu. But each one stylized. Nabu's is made of bone with veins of vibranium between it. Polyphonics, you can see all the different rhythm lines and oscilloscope versions and viewings of music's being played. Pole looks like it's being stretched out. The only name that hasn't been given yet, maybe soon, is the end of Prodigy, the beginning of something new. And that is where we will end tonight. We end issue 1. Welcome to Haven Crest and Universe 939. Thank you all for joining us. We'll go around, have everybody tell you who they are, where you can find them on the internet, and what project they got coming up soon. And then at the end of that, we've got our giveaway for Beacon Week. So stick around because I'm going to be spinning that wheel and announcing our winner for that. So let's go in reverse order. Paige, who are you? What are you doing? Where can they find you?
Hey everyone, I am Paige. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Pluto's Cleric, except for here and on YouTube, where it is Pluto's Underworld, where I am the storyteller and producer. I am a trans lesbian content creator on a quest to run every game in the universe, which just means I have too many tabletops that I want to play, so I just run them all myself. Other things I have going on tomorrow night on my channel. I am currently running a DC Comics game using the Blackest Night storyline, featuring some familiar faces such as Art here, called The Return. That is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central. We are going into our first combat where they have no plot armor, so from this episode on, anyone can die. This is a horror campaign. there's no guarantee that anyone's going to make it to the finale, let alone the whole team. So tune in for that. The only other thing I have going on, I'm in a bi-weekly One Piece 5e game on Javante's channel, Eclipse613. I believe we are on this week, so this Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, I'll be over there playing Scarlet Rabot. More of a harpy than a merfolk now. It's new. We'll figure that out next episode. And then besides that, I have a bi-weekly Vampire the Masquerade game, which is also on the next 2 weeks because we're switching the weeks back to how they were originally. So the 28th and the 5th both we'll be playing at 8 p.m. Central. It's called Chicago After Dark, and we are in the middle of a masquerade ball. I know, very on point for Vampire the Masquerade, but that's what we're going with, and we'll see what happens. It's already gotten off to a rocky start as someone rolled a bestial failure literally 5 minutes into the ball, so it's probably fine.
It'll be fine. Keith.
Hi, my name is Keith. You can find me everywhere online at Keith Asada. Specifically, I would love for you to go check out my itch.io page, where I publish most of my games. My current favorite is called Secret Communion, in which you and one of your friends play a god and one of their worshippers who have suddenly found themselves in love. So sort of try to track that story, make your own narrative, and see what happens.
Oh, yes. Nova, anything you want to plug? Anything you want to share?
Hi, I'm Nova. I go by he, him. I didn't enter that in the beginning. I was a little too excited. This is like my first game with professionals, and like I'm starstruck with everybody, and yeah, like I don't have any projects or anything. You can find me in our Arcs Discord, and I'm, I'm here.
You will
That's
count
right.
yourself as a professional now. Aetherius.
Yes. Well, first of all, Art, thank you for letting me play the world's most depressed teenager on your channel this evening. Truly a delight. Hi, my name is Aetherius Bordeaux. I am Vampire Himbo on everywhere in the internet except here on Twitch. So in the immediate, you can catch me tomorrow on my Twitch channel, which is vampire_himbo. I am kicking off Warhammer 40k Wednesdays. And so I am going to be playing a dogmatic playthrough of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. I think that the God Emperor deserves our love and our respect. And so I plan on praising his eternal throne, praising the Golden Throne tomorrow. In general, though, I am a main cast member over on Roll D5, which is a fantastic channel. Twice Crit Award nominated. They focus primarily on indie games and lifting up voices that are often marginalized in the space. I think I'm probably the most known for the advocacy work that I do in the space. And so I plan on continuing that moving forward. And it is, I think, not lost on me that this is a majority BIPOC cast and that we have like such a wide range of gender representation and sexualities and races here, and that was like so coincidental and incidental to the like building of this project, and I really want to praise ARC for that. This is how you circumvent tokenism in this space, by just bringing people together because of the story that you want to tell and their talent and because of table chemistry, and I am just happy to be a part of this. So yeah, you can catch me tomorrow, and that's a new playthrough. So I'm going to be starting from the beginning. I'm going to be doing a bunch of questionable accents, and we're going to have a good time. So thank you for allowing me to play. I plan on bullying myself into more tables of arcs. Oh, one thing I will say, because I'm kind of teasing this as it is in the oven, in 2026, I'll be launching my first campaign, my first actual play, which I am still, your boy is cooking. He's over here cooking. I have shared the name of it, which I'm excited to share. It is Fallout. I'm going to be working hopefully with Modifius, the people who make the system. But the title for the actual play is Fallout New Americana. It is a cross country road trip. If you know anything about the Fallout series, you know that there are so many states that have been largely left untouched by the lore, and we don't really know what happened after the bombs dropped and in the hundreds of years since. And so I thought that was such a just rich soil to build out and to write an adventure that takes my players, my lovely group of wastelanders, from one side of the country to the other in a apocalyptic road trip. So that is not going to come until late 2026. I haven't even begun like the full casting for that, but keep an eye out for it. I'm cooking it. I'm very excited. I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm shaking, but it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be worth it. And hello, everyone. I have been your director of this amazing Universe 939, our Marvel Multiverse TTRPG actual play. This will be every 2 weeks. So our next episode is on the 7th of next month. So be prepared when we return, because we're kicking it off with a major combat or a combat-esque scenario for the team to get to see how their powers work and how everybody functions, and maybe get some more information about everybody. But I am a nostalgia core TTRPG content creator and game designer. I stream Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays. This week in particular is Beacon Week. So every stream on my channel, at the end of it, I'm doing a giveaway of copies of my books, both Pocket World Anthology and Heroes. So with that, before we close, I've got my wheel of names. I've got all of the entrants that came in this stream and from yesterday's stream. So let's give it a roll. Let's see how it goes. 1, 2, 3. Who's getting the love? Who's getting the love? Who's getting the love? Novra!
Hell yeah.
This is a good night for you, man. Your first
Yeah.
actual play, and you fucking won. Amazing.
You're
Yeah.
getting signed
Iconic.
copies of Heroes and Pocket World Anthology. You can get copies of these by using !books, going to my Instagram at ArclightCourt, and checking out the My Books story or highlight that is on the channel. And this giveaway is happening again on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on this channel. You can find me tomorrow on The Return playing Aurelio Drago, aka Grimoire, the Living Spellbook, where I fight Daddy. And then we see how that goes down for everyone else involved. But thank you all for joining us. Thank you for sharing your time, your space, your energy. I end stream the same way I do every time, with my motto, my mantra, my motif of be a beacon. Be the light you want to see in the world and share with others. Even in cloudy days, clear nights, or stormy skies, remember to be a beacon. And don't forget to share that light with yourself. Take care, everyone. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye!